of art. And I'm so excited. Today I'm working on Hellwitch blanks. So they're for Coffin Comics, and they asked me to do 4 of them. So I have 3 of the blanks here, what I left over there, but that's fine because I'm not going to do all of them in one stream, not even close. But I will be working on some of them, and over the course of the next few streams, I'd like to wrap all of these up, and my goal is to have them handed over to Coffin Comics by Emerald City Comic Con. And I haven't informed Coffin of that because they just gave them to me to get done when I can. But that's my goal, and I really hope to be able to walk up to Senor Polito and hand them over, and I will actually be early, which is awesome. So I just did 2 quick little sketches this afternoon of the first 2 that I'm going to work on. So as far as if I'm doing full body or busts or what exactly I'm going to be drawing, and with a bust I mean you kind of cut the picture at your typical bust, like a bust statue, for instance. So that's what I'm talking about here. Hello, River Dragon. Nice to see you. So, yes, that's what I'm working on, and I've just done some quick little layouts. Brandy, oh my God. Hello, Brandy. It's so nice to see you here. Thank you for following me, love. Okay, so, hello, Kara and Shane. It's great to see you here. All right, so like I said, I am working for Coffin Comics right now. I have 4 blanks to do. Scott, hello. I have 4 blanks to do for Coffin Comics, so I need to hand these over to Brian Polito at a show this year. So my goal is to have them handed over at the first show of the year, my first show of the year, which is Emerald City Comic Con. Hello, Fall. Nice to see you. Yes, it's going to be so exciting. Thank you all for being here. So I think for fun, I am going to start with the bust. Sort of get me back in the Hellwitch zone. And so what I did with this one is I'm thinking I'm going to have her with one arm up. But again, these are really rough little layouts. And I have just pages and pages of layouts that I've just sketched for other projects that didn't end up getting used, and then I can use them here. Hello. Oh, the artist's life. I like that. So yes, time to get to arting. However, what I wanted to show you guys first was part of my art haul. That's right, ECC represent. So check this out. This has been a lusty for me for so long. I have wanted one of these Caran d'Ache Luminance sets. Now they are very expensive. However, the thing that's so fun about these ones is that they are very powerful colors, and I have 2 that I bought just on their own one time, and these have just been absolutely incredible. I love them. And I also have a white, and I've been using this white for years, and they're so good that I decided to splurge and get the 20 set. And I will never use them in a case like this. No matter how cute it is, I can't stand having to put everything back like this. It's when you're working in art and your time is of the essence, putting all your pencils back in their individual slots, I find to be a waste of time and extremely tedious. So I am taking them all out and I'm gonna be placing them in one of these little cases that you can just get at Staples, and I love. So they're gonna go in here. Hello, beautiful Brandy. I miss you so much, and I hope I get to see you this year. Yeah, I feel pretty fancy, I'm not gonna lie. This was a lusty. Yeah, I would want to have them all in a row, all properly in their tones, and it's just not worth it. I can't stand this sort of concept. Or even, you know, all the pencil cases that have you individually put your pencils back in the little elastic bump so each one has their individual slot. Why? I could go on for hours about stuff like this. It bothers me so much. So yeah, these are going right into a pencil case. Screw the individual slots. Nobody's got time for that. Yeah, exactly. It's just like an OCD trigger. And why? Mace, oh my God. It has been forever, and I'm so excited you could make it. Happy Sunday, and so much love to you. Woohoo, that's right. Hellwitch is being mailed out now, I think, which is so very cool. I am really, really excited that everyone's going to start getting their stuff. Yes, this is organized chaos. Now, I understand them keeping selling them like this because pencils getting moved all around, it can crack the graphite inside. So I'm not dissing the company. They need to ship them like this so that they don't get ruined. But I will treat them carefully, and I'm gonna keep them in like this. Yes, sharp end is up, and then this closes over it, and they're all nice and safe, and nothing is getting bumped or destroyed or ruined. And then I'm careful with these, right? I will, when traveling, probably put them in a box. Or wrap this in bubble wrap is probably what I'll do. Okay, so here's my new colored pencil set. I'm so excited. And then these were some more Molotov pens that I got. So I was asked a couple questions online as to what these are. These are acrylic paint pens. I find that right now, the way I'm seeing my screen, it looks like it's being a little bit glitchy. And I have noticed that with Twitch a lot over the last few days. I think it's having a hard time dealing with all the people on it or something. I don't know. So I apologize for that. So anyway, these are acrylic paint pens, and they're the pump type. So inside there's like a little ball that keeps everything from gumming together and drying up, so you can mix the paint, and then you just press on the nib and it gets more paint in it. And they have a few different sizes, so I bought the thicker ones and then also some of the thinner ones. And these ones specifically, I believe, are for the plan is with the Vampirella comic book that I just did. I'm going to be signing them with a blood red pen. That's what this is for. So I bought these in advance for Vampirella signings. Yeah, I know. Twitch seems to be having some glitches lately. Hello, Philip. Welcome, and I'm so glad you could make it. I probably need to write Mr. Polito and confirm that I'm supposed to draw on this side of the blank, because actually he gave me the blanks this side up, but this is the back, and I don't know if I was supposed to draw on this side, and that was the intent. And I'm not supposed to draw on the Lady Death side, and I don't know. I wish Ryan was on stream. I could ask him. Hello, Yo-Yo. It's so good to see you. Brandy, am I supposed to be drawing them on the back? I'm really glad you're here, actually. Let me know. Oh, that's to protect it so I can draw on the front. Am I correct here? That's to protect it. So draw on this side where it says Lady Death. All right, okay, the lady, okay, thank you, Brandy. You really saved me this time. I love you. So I'm correct. This is the side I'm supposed to draw on. Brandy, I am so glad that you're here. Thank you, hun. All right, so let's do some Hellwitch art. This is so exciting. I think I'm supposed to draw on the front, but the reason why he does it is to protect the front. That's good to know. So much love to you. My goal, Brandy, is to get all 4 blanks done and hand them over to Brian at Emerald City Comic Con. Fingers crossed. I heart you. Just so you guys know, Brandy Coffin, I've done a shout out to her before when she was on here because I love her and because Brandy is the one that manages all of your Hellwitch and Lady Death Kickstarters reaching you. So when you see pictures of the warehouse with all the boxes in the back and a pretty lady in front who's just been packing them all, that is Brandy. So if you like everything being shipped to you as awesome as Coffin Comics does, you can give Brandy a shout out and lots of love on the stream. That's right. Brandy is awesome. Thank you so much, Mace. Okay, so I'm gonna get the tools that I usually work with, which is my 0.3 millimeter pencil, and yes, the box porn, that's right, and my kneaded eraser. So I don't know what everybody has been up to today. And but what I was doing before, while I was doing the layouts, is watching through The Office, which I've never seen. And my husband and 2 teenage kids love The Office. And as unpopular as this is going to make me, I pretty much have decided I can't stand it. I don't get that sense of humor where like Michael Scott can just, his name's Michael Scott, right? And we're in like season 1 or season 2 where he just, I saw the one where he like goes to the warehouse and is trying to have like a guys get together and he just destroys the organization in the warehouse. I can't enjoy it. It makes me so angry. I can't do it. Oh, I will never hate you for bringing me stuff to sign. That's a compliment. It means that, you know, you liked the work that I did for that particular publisher, and that's amazing. And it's the biggest compliment that you can give me, that you're bringing me a stack of books. So it never is ever a problem. Yeah, maybe so, Lee. Right, it's so disorganized. He just says the most terrible things. I just can't. That's so great, Juan. Thank you. Hello, SK Froy. Yeah, I can't either. Guys, I'm really sorry about the situation right now with the glitchy stream. I hope it's not too annoying for everyone. Okay, so Hellwitch. I want to make sure that I'm doing her outfit correctly. Yes, of course, Mace. Go ahead. Oh yeah, my husband and my teenage kids love the show. So I don't want to ruin it for everybody because I am like, oh, Vecto Who, thank you so much for the follow. I don't want to ruin it for them because I get grumpy. So I'm going to just deal. It's been clear for you. Okay, so I guess it's just really glitchy for me. Oh, thank you, Brandy. That is so cool. Hello, creating art. Happy Sunday. Sloppy Octopus. Hey. True. I just don't want to ruin it for my kids because they're really enjoying it. All right, so I'm going to get her face drawn in first. That usually sets the tone for everything else. And I don't want to make her face look too young. So, you know, because she's a powerful warrior woman, and she's definitely got a fierce look to her face. And if I make her eyes too big, which is something I tend to kind of, I don't know what I gravitate towards drawing eyes a little bit more like cartoony, where I make them bigger. With a character like this, it's probably going to ruin that fierce look that she's supposed to have. So I'm going to shrink her eyes from my layout. And my layout is kind of, I draw the way I usually draw, and then I'll refine it to that particular character as I'm working on the sketch, which is what I'm going to do now. I probably will. I already like the way that the Jim and Pam thing is going, and I like them a lot. I just really don't like the boss. Very cool, Tranquil Mist. I love that. Oh yes, Mace, I have that email that you wrote me. I'll get back to you tomorrow morning, I promise. I'm actually gonna write that down. All right, I'm gonna write it down so that I make sure I get to that email. Respond to Mace. All right, so I have that written down, so I won't forget. Hellwitch is a character created by Coffin Comics, and you know what? I even have the official write-up of what she is and who she is. So hold please, and I'll get that for you, because it's really cool, and I don't want to say it wrong. Here we go. 1 second. I drew it, I think, in August. Yes. All right, here we go. It's just loading. Okay. Hellwitch is a native Hellborn. She was born in Hell in a Hell Hive, one of thousands of lowly sanitation workers. Through terrible trials, the tragic loss of her love, Gatha, and the insurmountable circumstances, she rose up to become the queen of her hive. Pretty cool. And so I have what her wings look like and everything so that I get her drawn correctly. I would not want to screw that up. Yeah, story time with Dawn. That's right. So she has dark purple black hair and big demon looking wings, and she's just very fierce. She has like a leather outfit with studs on it, so it's going to be very exciting to draw. I love that, Brandy. You're right, Devin. I really need to just take it for what it is. I just, certain types of humor don't work on all people, and I think I'm just the kind of person that can't handle it. Hellwitch is fun to draw. And I love the blanks that Lady Death gives. You guys know how picky I am with paper. I am such a paper diva, for lack of a better word. I'm so very picky. But the blanks that Brian gives for people to work on are just amazing. Like the paper that they choose, and I know it takes effort in the printing to find a paper that you can print on well, that binds nicely, that doesn't get damaged, but then also is easy to work on for the artists. And Brian must have really done his research, because this paper is really good. Yeah, a little bit. Oh, you got a jeweled cover. That is so awesome. Okay, so I'm going to make her mouth a little bit lower. And here is her nose. And because I'm going to be coloring this in Copic Marker, I'm keeping the lines of her nose, for instance, very basic. There's really going to be barely anything to it. It's almost more just I'm implying that there's a nose there with lines, and then I will put in the nose shape with shade. Ooh, so you get the jewel ones. That's so cool. All right, and then she has a piercing, like a studded piercing going through the bridge of her nose right here. And so we wouldn't really see much of it on this side, so I'm mostly gonna put it on the other side right here. And it's just a little stud, like that. I guess I would put it a little bit right there. Eyebrows, and I'm gonna really exaggerate her eyebrows. They're going way down and coming up. Yeah, Yo-Yo, I would say the Lady Death ones and the Aspen comic ones are just amazing. Oh my goodness, what's wrong with Mo? Oh, or she's working, right, Scott? She's not, like, in the hospital because she's working there. She's not, like, hurt or sick, yes? True, Deadman, I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Yeah, I am so sorry, Sheldon. I'm seeing the same thing here. It's really weird. It's just glitching out like crazy. Okay, she's on call. All right, that's good. All right, so let's get some eyes drawn in there. And I want to make them smaller than I had initially drawn them, because bigger eyes give they imply cuteness, childish, all of that. And in this one, I want her to be, I want her to look more fierce than anything else. And I'm gonna get my cover too for reference. So the Hellwitch cover I did was part of the recent Kickstarter. And let's get the main low res, so I can just keep that there to look at as well. Oh my god, 32 hours? I don't even know how someone can do that. That's amazing. And then, you know, she's there and the patient care, and you know, I am so crabby and awful if I've been awake that long. I'm mad respect for Mo. Tom, hello! She is a trooper. Thank you, Sheldon. So much love to you, and I am so sorry. All right, so now I'm gonna get a line down the center right here so that her mouth is in the right spot. Okay, and then I usually just draw in the cheekbone so that I have that as a reference point when I'm doing the shading and I know where everything's gonna be. I saw that you're going, Yo-Yo. Congratulations. I'm double jointed on all of my fingers, so at least I think so. So this is kind of how a hand should normally be, and it takes effort for me to keep my fingers straight. This is really where they're more comfortable, and this is how my fingers are when I actually straighten them. And I try to point, it goes like that. So yes, I believe that is double jointed. And I can like bend my thumb back, but I don't want to make anyone feel sick. Yeah, I know. Super freaky deaky fingers. Oops. And she has, okay, 2 piercings over this eyebrow. This is the center of the face. You want to see? All right, so here we go. I could take my thumb and bend it all the way back. For Sheldon. You give a bent thumbs up. Nice. What you saw was that, yeah. Sorry, everyone. I said I have really bendy fingers. It's so weird. It is really fun as a kid, though, because you can just freak everybody out. Okay, and I'm just putting in the line for her eyebrows and how high the arch is gonna go. here are her collarbones. Because I've got her neck kind of twisting, so her body is sort of facing this way, but her head is kind of going like that. Oh my god, that's terrifyingly. Oh my god, Kara. That's amazing. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mace. At the moment, that is not the plan. Okay, so her shoulder is here, and then it's kind of going behind her bust. So we're not going to see the other arm as much. And then this one we're seeing more of because she's turning towards us a little bit. And this is her, so her rib cage would be going like this. Kind of turning like that. Aliens have been known to do that. Maybe I am, Shane. Alright, so her hair is really pretty and has big curls, and it's going to be so fun to draw. And I'm going to part her hair on this side, kind of like this time. The last time I drew her, I kind of parted her hair a little bit more in the middle. But I think her hair can kind of swoosh all around. It isn't quite as standard as Lady Death's, where it has the arch right in the center. And she is a busty lady. So, I need to get that drawn in. And generally I don't, I've found that it always takes me a couple tries to get, when I haven't been drawing Lady Death or a Lady Death character like Hellwitch in a little while, it takes me a few times to get the sizing right. I did finish Joker, Juan Solo, and he is already packed up and ready to go. But I'll post him in the next couple days. I don't think I can add a file here. I think I can only send messages. So yeah, I'll post him though. And she is strong and powerful, so I'm going to give her nice toned arms, which is what we're all trying to get anyway. And it's so much fun. You can do all of that in the art. So I'm thinking to have her holding a big dagger right here, which is not really something that she has very often. But I think it would look really cool. Or I'll just have her hand open and we can see all the finger armor that she has with her green power source. And then she has nice big horns, so we'll give her those in just a moment. I'm going to cover up her ear with hair. She has armor on her forearms and then really cool armored fingers. So those are going to be so fun to draw. So this is the back of her shoulder. And I keep that in there just to remember her body shape. It looks like we're probably not even going to see the back of her shoulder. So I might throw in her arm right here just so that it doesn't look like I forgot an arm. That would not be cool. Thank you, Pat. Yes, Mace, that is true. And I am so, so excited. I had such fun working on it. Oh gosh, Sheldon, no, I really don't. I know people say that, and you know, if that happens, it is literally just purely coincidental and accidental. I don't like to draw myself. Thank you, Kara. Hand open. Okay, so I want to make it kind of like this, so that she's got her green flame stuff emanating from it, and the flame colors are very Matrix, for lack of a better term. They're like that brilliant lime green. So if I do that, then this side of her face would have some lime green on it, and you know, I could carry the coloring throughout a little bit, which would be pretty fun. Oh, okay, you're joking. That's good, Sheldon. All right, so I'm drawing in the base of where her horns fit on her skull. So I'm thinking somewhere right around here. They're not on the lower sides, they're not up on the very top, but they're kind of around where a woman's hairband would be, is where the horns sit, just on either side like this. So I will, I'm setting up the base of them, and then from there I will draw the horns. And just to make sure that they're situated on the same spot on her head. It would look a little weird if they're off-centered like this, since that wouldn't happen. How can you purchase this exclusive cover? I don't know, Mace. This is all through Coffin Comics. This is a kind of, it's not a commission, it's an industry job. Like, I'm doing it for Coffin Comics, so I'd imagine that they'll plan to use them somehow. I don't know. That's not weird at all, Kara. Okay, so I'm gonna draw in her hand now, and I always start with, first you want to know where the wrist begins, because if you put the wrist in the wrong place, then you're gonna draw the hand and it's gonna be in the wrong spot, and it's gonna throw off everything. And I tend to do that sometimes, where I'll put the wrist in kind of the wrong spot, and then I have to erase everything and start over. Hands are, you know, generally one of the more challenging things to draw in human anatomy. So you really want to make sure that once you draw it, it's there and you don't have to move it, because that really sucks. So actually, I was working on the horn, so I'll do that first. All right, so I'm gonna actually draw in a faux hairband towards the top of her head. So this is the very top of her head, back of skull, I'll put the ear back in. Here's the neck. And so it's connecting in the back where we don't see it, like the base of her skull to the base of her neck, or to the top of her neck. So here's the back of her skull, and the forehead kind of bends inward like that. And so then this is kind of the top line of where each horn meets. This is the center line of her head. And then I want to get these in the same spot. So that would pretty much be right about where I had it, like so. And these ones are straighter and then come to a like hooked point, like that. And she has 2 studded spikes, piercings, right by the arch of her eyebrow. Like that. She has a piercing here and a piercing here. So it goes through the bridge of her nose. And then she has a piercing right on her lower lip, like that. So knowing the center line really helps in placement of those elements. That's hilarious, Kara. What if Hellwitch was double jointed? True Deadman, I have not had any formal training, no. There are things I wish I had had formal training in, but thankfully now I can kind of see my own mistakes, and that helps me with fixing them and knowing what areas are my weak points. So I am aware of my artistic weak points, and I can then purchase books and get courses and stuff to work on said weak points. And you know, there are so many books out there. There's so many amazing artists on Twitch. I wish that Twitch was around when I was younger and still trying to get into art, because it's so amazing and I could have learned so much. And I do. I definitely watch streamers whose style and their expertise are things I know I'm weak in. I learn a lot by watching them work. And I suppose that's kind of one of the main reasons that there are artists on Twitch, is to sort of share the things that you've learned. So it's a really cool community, and I am so grateful for it. Okay, so I think it would be pretty painful to be really pressed up against one's boob if the boob is covered with spikes. So I'm gonna move her arm a little bit more towards us, just because, ouch. Thank you, Sheldon. So I'm turning and shortening the perspective a little bit on her arm, which means it starts thinner and then gets wider a lot faster. Thank you, Mace. Hey, Arrow. So then she has red eyes, which is going to be so fun to draw in. But she, unlike Lady Death, does have irises, which means we can see the direction that she's actually looking. And with Lady Death, because she has white eyes, there's no pupil or iris or anything like that there. You have to kind of be a little bit clearer in her facial direction as to where she's looking. With Hellwitch, she has the pupil, so obviously I can accomplish that. Her face can be looking off in a different direction, but her eyes can still be looking at us. And so that, you know, there's pluses and minuses. I'm always so happy when I'm drawing Lady Death because I don't have to worry that both eyes are looking in the right place because I tend to do this. Still with this, it is really handy because I can turn her head that way but have her eyes looking this way. Oh, thank you so much, True Deadman. Oh my goodness, my face just froze in the most unattractive spot. Ew. All right, so now I'm putting in the base of her palm. So I always start where the wrist is and then start building it from there in almost a rectangular shape. See? So that I know that we're seeing sort of the top of her hand. And in that way, we would be seeing there's depth to it, right? The hand is 3D. It has all four sides to it. All right, and then in the end, the hand size is from the base of the chin to pretty much the forehead. Now see, I have a higher forehead, so it's not quite, my hands, and I have big hands, are not quite the length to my hairline. But on average, that's the size. So you can kind of do this to sort of make sure that you're getting the hands the right size, because it's one of those things that can just instantly look wrong if you draw the hands too small or too big. Her hands are closer to us than her face is, but even so, in comic art, I still keep the female hands a little thinner and a little smaller, but not by much. Okay. So I know that I want her hands to be about this big, meaning that at least the fingers, if they were fully extended and straight, they would be about that big. So I'm just going to go like this to have the basic shape of the fingers. And then the thumb is back here. We may or may not see some of the thumb, but I'll just draw it in anyway, just to be safe. Okay, so I want the first finger to definitely be more extended. And that's the base. And then the next finger, I'm gonna do more like this and turn it. And as always, the middle finger is slightly larger than the pointer. So it's extending beyond this point a little bit. And I may change the direction and the rotation of the hand if I feel that this just isn't looking good, which it's kind of going in that direction. And then the knuckles are here. And I believe this pinky finger would be going down completely, like that. Let's see. They kind of like this. Turn these a little bit more. Sorry, I'm going to be talking to myself a little bit too. And yes, I suppose you guys could say I do use my own hands as reference because I'm doing that right now. No, you wouldn't see the thumb. Okay, so I'm just gonna get rid of the thumb. All right, so then we would see her boobs like this. She has a top that kind of, basically just think of it like a bra. Sorry, Nightcrawler. Smoosh it together and get a hand. Exactly. So now we would see her shoulder back there, just a touch. And she has a nice big necklace. And it's got like big, think like, I don't know, lion teeth on it or something. And her skin tone is described in the art notes as cinnamon. And then so like I guess a really nice deep reddish brown. So I get to use some different colors that I don't normally use, which is always so exciting for me. And it's a challenge because I have my usual tones that I use, but I'm gonna switch it up and just start darker. That I normally do. So instead of using my very lightest tone to start, I'm going to use what is normally my mid-tone and work up from there. But right now I need to make sure that she's looking at us. And that I find to be quite a challenge. So I'm moving her hair and it's going to be blowing over on this side. And over here, we're going to see the green magic-y stuff that she has. And it's bright green. So all along here on her face, we'll have some of the bright green. And whoop, whoop, I have a new, very bright lime green that I get to use. So I'll use colored pencil at the end to add in those highlights and tones, and it's gonna be so fun. And then, of course, we won't see the base of the horn sticking into her skull. We'll see her hair that's kind of all around it. And then her bra kind of goes into like a lace-up top. So it comes down lower, and it almost follows the base of her rib cage. So I can put that in, and then I'm going to give her some bands on her arms just to make her look badass. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Arrow, can you give me Steven's Twitch name? I've been trying to find him for forever. If I could ask for your help, I would so appreciate it. Thank you, True Deadman. I'm really excited. It's going to be fun. Yeah, I really want to follow him. And I just typed in his name and it didn't show up. So if I can get a hand from somebody with Stefan's, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Can you please give me his Twitch handle? Please, please. Yeah, he posts when he goes live, but he doesn't give his name. Oh, his username. Thank you. All right, I'm copying that. Copy. And I'm going to just save that real quick. Perfect. Thank you so much, Arrow. Thank you, 9 Inch Nails. Thank you, Jeff. Okay, follow. And yes, notifications are turned on. Happiness. Thank you so much, you guys. All right, and then she has her big wings. Kylie, hello. Jason, I must have missed you when you got on the stream. Hey. She needs more of a shoulder on this side. Thanks for the follow, 9 Inch Nails. Lurking is fine. Oh my god, Kylie, I'm so excited. I took them out of the case that they were in because I am not going to put them all back individually in their slots. I went on a whole tirade about that one. But I have them all in here and I'm so excited. I'm gonna use them on this piece for the highlight colors. I can't wait. Hey, Louie. Thank you so much, 9 Inch. Very appreciated. Yeah, it's gonna be so exciting. I'll see you in Orlando. Twitch has been kind of odd and glitchy today, I'm not gonna lie. It's been really glitchy for me. I elongated her chin a little bit more because I know that this is something I seem to be doing, is making everyone's chins too short. You know what, 9 Inch, that's really interesting because I'm actually credited for something that Sue McTeigue actually did from a Punisher comic from the early 90s, which I was most certainly not around for. I don't think that I have any relation to Sue McTeigue, but maybe. There aren't very many McTeigues in the US, so it's possible. But I had someone bring me a Punisher from like 20, 30 years ago, and I was like, I'm sorry, no. She was your computer instructor. That is incredible. Oh my god. Yeah, I really need to, I need to figure out if we have any relation. As far as I know, we don't. Just similarity of last name. I wonder if she's still around. Do you know? That's incredible. You've been trying to find her? Yeah, I would love it. I should see if I can locate her, and also somehow I need to contact Comic Book Database and let them know that I was most certainly not doing anything in the early 90s. I think her cheekbone is too high. That's the problem. It's throwing me off. And this eye is too big. Yeah, and just decided to keep the last name, Juan. Yes, I'm gonna be in MegaCon, Jeff. I wish. Yeah, exactly. I really had to, I had to explain to, I've had a few people bring me that book to sign, and I've been like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't work on that one. That's not me. Any other cons listed for the year? Yes, Mace. If you go onto my website, my convention list is posted there now. What is up with my camera today? Sorry, you guys. Oh, it has. Devin! Oh my god, I didn't know that. Thank you so much. You're amazing. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. See you later, Sheldon. Thank you, Louie. Yes, I saw your message. I'm sorry I haven't responded yet. I will soon. Okay, so I'm just lightening up some of the lines a little bit so I can refine them. She kind of has alternating big teeth or claws and then smaller ones. So I'm going to do the big ones first because I have the smaller ones sketched in as well. So big ones first, smaller ones second. Kind of looks like a spider right now. Just zooming in on some of the reference that was sent. Okay, so some turn up. My bad. Looks like the bigger ones are supposed to turn upwards towards us, and the smaller ones are facing downward. The big ones turn up. It's going to be a little hard on some of these to get that angle correct. And then I want to have them connecting somehow, make some sort of choker dealio. Thank you, Central Park, and hi, I didn't know that you were here. Right, but I still want us to be able to see her shoulder blades a little bit through the necklace so that we get the proper understanding of where her body is turning and how all of this is going. These guys need to be shorter. That is so awesome, Jeff. Thank you. I can't wait to see you there. Have a good evening, Mace. Thank you so much. And yes, I have it written down right here next to me to respond to you. So I'll do that tomorrow. Thank you. Have a great week. I can't sing. I don't know where this is coming from, but no. Yay, Mystery. I'm so glad that you're excited about that. Banana Ninja, hello. Oh, thanks, Louie. I kind of fake fingernails is what I do. Or I think of them as fingernails. Okay, I'm gonna bring this down a little bit more. Alright, so now I'm just looking at some reference for her forearm armor. Now in some places she has the spikes and oh, nope, she has them everywhere. Never mind. I thought maybe in some places she didn't have the spikes, but she does. So I did the rings so that I know the direction, and now I can take the center point of the ring and turn it into a, just give it a little point, but at least I know that the direction is the right way. Okay, so now I'm going to work on her fingers a little bit. And they come to a spike over the first knuckle right here, and then the second knuckle. I'm sorry, I seem to be having a little bit of difficulty getting the camera to be in the right place. So let's get this in here, and then this one, and then this comes to a point. This goes like that. Okay, and I'm going to give her smaller spikes. I think I went too big last time. So I'm just going to make them a little bit smaller. And this is the tricky part because the spikes have to kind of round, and that makes the perspective on them a little bit different. And some of them are just going to look like dots, which is a little bit exciting. For real, Kylie, they're doing that movie? That is hilarious. Okay, now I understand her fingers. My bad, I was drawing them wrong. I have to get back into the groove of drawing her and remember all her different elements, which are easy to forget when you don't do it all the time. Hey, Gabriel. Yeah, Mark, I agree with Juan. It's probably running out. Sounds like it might be refill time. Ashley, hello! Kylie, I am not going to Fiend Fest. But these are for Brian. I don't think that they're for Fiend Fest because I'm not handing them over to him until Emerald City, which is in March. And even then, I'm handing them over earlier, I think, than he's expecting. Yay! All right, the palm of her hand was a little bit too long, so I'm going to shorten that and make this part a little bit longer. Just somehow her hand, in the course of all of this adjustment, and I guess adding in parts to the nail here with her nail plates, her fingers got too long. So instead of redrawing the fingers, because of the way that the angle is, I can make the palm a little bit smaller. Yeah, that makes sense, Jason. Probably mystery envelope stuff. I don't like her mouth, and I'm not sure I like her face. I might make a few adjustments now. I would be more than happy to, Jason, anytime. So many necro sketches, yay! So what I did with her horns, because they're facing downward to start and then they curve up and away from us, the little indication rings that I've done have changed direction slowly over the course of the horn. So they start by looping downward, going straighter, 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 and then straight, and then looping the other way. For sure, Kylie. And then all I'm doing is just going to all the little lines that I put in and adding in the roundness to make them look like this, almost like they're twisted. I started at 4:30, so I've been drawing for an hour and 45 minutes. 4:30 my time. I think the thing that was bothering me was that her mouth was too close to her nose. And so then it was making it so that I was having to make her chin so small to keep the distance correct. But I just needed to move her mouth down. Oh, I see, Ashley. That's so sweet. Love back to you. I've been doodling my whole life, drawing professionally since 2012, so I guess 7 years, almost. Yeah, okay, this is better. Sometimes if something just isn't looking right to you, or you're just not liking it, it probably means that there's just one thing in the measurements that's throwing off everything else. So in my case, I had the mouth up too close to the nose, which would work if you had a downward turned face, but in this case, it's just rotated to the side, meaning that everything should be proportionately distanced from one another. So I needed to get this back to basic thirds. So this is where the nose is, and then I need the mouth about right there. The Awesome Squad, I love that. You know, I don't know if any of you guys saw this on the Boop Squad, but Dan bought his first piece of original art from someone off of Boop Squad last night. He saw it and was just like, oh my god, I must own this. And I never really thought I'd see the day that Dan bought art, and it's so cool. It's so awesome. It really is from Dan Hawksworth. That's right. He's so excited to get it. And then I was trying to like tell Dan where we should place it in the house and stuff, and he's like, I'm gonna decide that, and I'm gonna put it somewhere where I can see it every day and enjoy it for myself. So stop butting in. Oh, you own one from him too? That's so cool, Mark. Yeah, it really was awesome. Hey, David. Yeah, he was. And now here he is buying art. You guys have won him over. I love it. Boop Squad for the win. True, that is funny, Arrow. It's incredible. I could not do freehand pen like that. Yeah, I want it in the bedroom, like on the wall or something, and I think Dan wants it. I don't know exactly where he's gonna place it. It's true. I didn't see the irony in that one, Gabriel. No, it's Devin. I don't have my art on the wall in my house at all. Not a single piece. It would drive me crazy. See you later, Juan. Oh, and see you later, Central Park. Thanks to everyone who's hung out as long as you could. Excuse me. Well, this is one of those streams where you guys are going to see me change and adjust a million times until I get it the way I want it. And a few times it has not, I haven't gotten it quite right. So this is the process of fixing and then erasing and redoing. Sorry about that. No, thank you, Mystery.
Never to know to feel some type of way. I wish I heard you say
You know what? It's crazy, Arrow. It is so windy here too. You would not believe it. Have a good week, Tom. I'll see you another day this week on a stream if you can make it, and have a good one. All right. This is better. I am happier with where everything is at now, and now I'm just gonna work on her wings a little bit. Yeah, and there was like hail last night or something. It woke me up in the middle of the night, and nothing does that. But yeah, I had to get up and look outside to just see what was going on. It was insane. Oh, hey, Scott. Lots of love to Lori and you. It hailed over here, big time. All right, so now I'm gonna put in her wings. And we're not gonna see tons of them. I had them almost right behind her horns, but that's not correct. They go out a little further. So I'm gonna do her hair afterwards. And for starters, just get her wings in. Oh no, your poor dog. That sounds so sad. Okay, I have to be really careful along the spine here that I don't put too much pressure. I don't know if Brian is planning on getting these CGC graded or CBCS or whatever, but I have to be careful on the spine. Like, you can't put any pressure on this side. If you press your hand or erase along there too hard, it puts little creases in the paper, and then the person gets a worse grade on the quality of the book. So whenever I have a blank to work on, I always check with the person, are you planning on getting this graded? Because you have to be so careful. And you have to make sure that no art supplies and pencil marks or anything get on the back, or the same thing, it'll get a bad grade. Yeah, I can only imagine how difficult it is for lefties. Like, it's so much easier to be right-handed if you're gonna work on blanks. You have to work upside down? Yikes, that is so rough, Mark. Okay, so here we're not going to see a ton of the wing in the back. Annika's a lefty. That is so interesting. Alright, so 2 pieces come out from here. The same over here. Oh no. I'm so sorry, Kylie. Oh, hey, Adam. Welcome to the stream. Oh no, tell her to color it. I wonder if her horns are slightly too long. And that might be an issue here. I'm gonna check. Now they're about as long as her head. Yep, I guess they're correct. Damn. Aww. The horns are great, no touch. Okay. Yes, her wings are going off the page. That's correct, Sheldon. So this paper is a little bit more textured than I'm used to. So my pencil lines are going down so much stronger than I'm used to as well. But it's great. I'm just gonna have to ignore a lot of the lines that are supposed to be lighter, but they're kind of at my darkest tone that I usually do, because it's really taking the pencil a lot more than I'm used to. But this stuff works so good with Copic Marker and pretty much any tool. And I understand that it needs to have a little bit more texture than my paper does, for instance, because not all artists use Copic markers. Some use colored pencil and stuff like that. And my paper is very smooth. And it probably wouldn't even pick up all colored pencil. So I'm just needing to adjust the way that I do my line art and become a little bit more okay with some smudges, which I can then erase. So it's all good. I just need to not let it bother me, because I'm so tempted to do another full erase and start over. Yeah, the paper has a little bit more texture to it, so you can see the grain of the paper slightly, which is great. These blanks are amazing. No, I don't, Nightcrawler. This paper, I don't know a visual artist. My guess is it's probably a really good, like, Strathmore style paper. I don't know if that's exactly what it is, though. So these are going to look a lot shorter because we're seeing them a lot straighter on than if you were seeing them towards the side where you can see the full spike. Thank you, Nightcrawler. Hello, Bamfart. Okay, so here I will show and give the illusion, like when we're seeing a spike straight on like this, right? And you're just seeing the very top of it. What I do is just put a little like triangular shadow going towards the center point. And what it does is it just gives the illusion that there's a point and then there's a side that's catching some shadow. And that really helps with spikes when you're looking at them straight on, because they can be quite intimidating to draw. And like here, they're just coming up into a tiny little spike that's off the center base circle. And yeah, spikes can be really challenging to draw because of how you have to adjust them and make them actually look like you're seeing them straight on or from a slight angle, and it can be really confusing. Like, where do you put that little tiny tip to the spike? It is, Kylie. That is amazing. Scott, no, it's not a commission. I have 4 blanks that I'm drawing for Brian for Coffin Comics, and I just need to hand them over at some point this year. So I'm going to try to surprise him and be nice and early and hand them over at Emerald City Comic Con. There we go. And now I'll do the other side. Maybe so, Scott. Emerald City is mid-March. So I'm going to be working on these for the next few streams for sure. And I'm just going to save them primarily for live streaming work. That's cool, Nightcrawler. Oh, did we get another Hypno Sherlock? I'm sorry, I have like Hellwitch outfit reference here from the character design and from my cover, and I didn't see. Thank you so much. Oh, Silent Fox, thank you for the follow. Oh, that would be great if you could make it, Bamf Art. It really is such a good show, and I haven't been there for the last few years, so I'm really excited to go back. It's 4 full days now. That's crazy. Like, before Emerald City used to be like 3 days, or then it was 3.5. I don't know how long it's been where it starts at 10 a.m. on Thursday and doesn't, and then it runs every day starting at 10 a.m. until Sunday, which ends at 5. But otherwise it's 10 to 7. So it's going to be a long show. All right, and then she has a lace up top that opens right in the center of her chest. So this is the center line right here that goes all the way down to her belly button and through her waist. So I just want to make sure I have that center line in place properly, and then I can do the lace up. And it ends right here, right where her bra starts. Yeah, I think it's 4 days. Emerald City, no, I'm sorry, it's the name of the Seattle Comic Con. Kara's back. So here, just along the edge, are the easiest spikes to do. So I'll draw those in first. Oh, yay, that is so cool, Scott. All right, so all the spikes are in, the base of her leather thing is in. Oh, that's a Lady Death cover, Ashley. And then she's in a graveyard scene with a bunch of zombies behind her. Oh, I definitely do, Sheldon. Thank you for offering. No, Lady Death is by Coffin Comics, so it's the same company that I'm working for right now. No, I'm not, Scott, but I'm not taking pre-books anymore. I'm just doing it through my email list, and I send around a specific email for each specific show. So you just have to respond to that. Oh, I wish, Philip. Starting tomorrow, I'm going on a health food eating only kick where I'm gonna cut carbs and only eat healthy whole foods kind of stuff. Like I have like a list of the foods that I can eat, and in that list I can of course fill up and eat a ton, but I'm gonna try to be a little healthier as far as my choices, and especially I need to do better at eating protein. I am a carb eater only. No, it's not, Ashley. Thank you, Sheldon. It is really hard. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stick to it, but I'm going to try for 12 weeks. Smoked tofu. Interesting, Ashley. I don't know what the Whole30 diet is, Philip. Sounds interesting. I'm gonna eat a lot of that lunch that I showed you guys the other day that was like frozen vegetables and canned chicken and a lot of just chicken breast and, you know, fitness people food. More margaritas. Slushy margaritas. Yes. I don't have any problem with tofu. I lived for a lot of years as a kid in Japan, so I'm pretty used to it. Alright, I think it's time to start inking. So, for inks, I like these pens. They are the Faber-Castell Eco Pigments, and that's what I want to use here. Yeah, I've tried quinoa pasta. I did not care for it at all. I have to activate my pen. If it's not used, it tends to dry out. What is happening? It's true. You were right, Kylie. I learned the hard way that they don't really work on the Express-It paper. I do those as well, Ashley, but right now these are covers. Thank you, Nightcrawler. And I'm not going to go too thick with my line art or worry too much about the putting in depth with my black lines. I'm pretty much just going to stick to simple outlining almost, because all of that is going to be handled in the coloring when I get in there with the Copic markers. You know, like I'm not really even drawing in much of a nose. It's more just like, yeah, there is a nose here. Here's a line to show you where it starts. And the rest I'll put it in the color. I don't need to, I don't think. Yeah, you definitely did make a healthy choice, Mystery. Well done. Nightcrawler, this character is already set, so her color scheme is already pre-planned. I didn't design this particular character. So yeah, her outfit is done. But yeah, you're right. She does have her armor is silver. Her skin is like a cinnamon tone. And then the actual leather part is black. Oh, and Ashley, I do get kind of nervous when it comes to some inking, and before I did used to scan stuff before I inked it. So yeah, I hear you on that. Oh my God, Mike, hello! I am so glad you could make it. Uh, 9-inch, yes, I definitely do use a brush. And for a lot of my comic cover art now, I use a brush, and the one that I like is the Winsor & Newton Series 7. So those are like my favorite ones. So I do have, let me see if I have a cover here. They're in my portfolio book, but like I just finished a Vampirella cover recently, and then my Detective Comics number 1000, I inked both of those with this brush. And the Lady Death 25th anniversary, another cover I recently finished on Twitch. They're all done with the Winsor & Newton Series 7. You have to buy those all the time, yeah. Do I ever use my phone to sketch? No, but sometimes I use Procreate on my iPad, and it's really handy because you can do perspective grids in it. And so yeah, I bought Procreate and I have it on my iPad. And so sometimes I'll do a sketch, or I'll do like a quick layout and then take a picture of it and put it into my iPad and put the perspective grid that would work with that layout onto it. That's amazing. That's so cool, 9-inch. Shane, I actually have a 0 that I'm using right now. I would like to get a 1. I do go fine. They were still usable as well? That is so cool. Go art supplies. I would have thought for sure they had dried out. Nightcrawler, I'm going to be on for another 23 minutes. I leave at 7:30 my time. And I live in Calgary, Canada. Wow, 9-inch. That is so cool that you went to that school. So what made you open everything back up this summer? Nightcrawler, this is the time that I'm available for chatting. I really don't have enough time to carry on chats on Facebook, but you can follow me on Facebook there, and if you leave comments, I can answer. And I try my best to keep up, but it's not very easy for me. If you want to get a decent line of communication, this is the place to do so. That's amazing, 9-inch. You might hate it, Shane. I don't know. I just have always gotten a 0 because then I can get in and do all the little detailed stuff. Hey, Jason Mago. I think it's Jason Mago. If I got your name wrong, I'm really sorry. So I'm going to do pretty thin lines to start with, And then I'm going to erase all my pencils, and then I'll go in and refine little things and thicken out areas that need to be thickened in order to like give proper depth and stuff. I'm right. Yay! Because I'm so bad at names. Hello, Southside. Southside Snack. That is great. So Kylie, we started watching Yummy Mummies last night. I didn't even look at the cheat sheet. That's right. And oh my God, it was hilarious. See you later, Scott. Have a good one. Lots of love to Lori. Yes, the TV show on Netflix. Oh my God, it was so painful to watch, but it was also just, we sat there with like sick fascination. It was very catty. Oh, okay, Jason. It's about these super rich girls in Australia who are all pregnant and expecting, and there's, you know, they're all trying to one up each other with their baby showers and stuff. It's quite fun. Nightcrawler. I am a comic book artist by trade. I work on either commissions or industry work that I've been hired to do, and as such, I generally just don't have time to draw something for fun, you know. All art is fun, but I won't have time to draw a monster next time around or take any requests. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you, Philip. And a fiend artist, yay! Oh, thank you, Philip. Oh, a visual artist. All art is fun. I don't know if you heard me say that. I very much enjoy what I do. I am so very, very happy. And it just means I don't really, think today, what do I feel like drawing? And that's what I'll draw today. That's what I mean. Yeah, Mike Chrome was talking about it, which is why I checked it out. See you later, Jason. It's pretty funny though, Kylie. I don't know if I would watch all of it, but just the first few that I saw, I was like, oh my god. I got instantly offended though when they were all saying like you shouldn't gain weight and you can wear pretty dresses, and I was like, oh my god, no. Woohoo! Congratulations, Jason. I owe you a letter, by the way. I need to talk with you about that. I hear you, Kylie. You gotta watch like the first 3, I think. I think those are the ones that are worth watching. True story, Kara. So she has really dark eye makeup. And I need to get this spike in right here before I forget. It would be so bad if I forgot. So she has spikes on right in here on the bridge of her nose, but on the other side I might just do it with like white highlight or something. Zoom in a little bit more. Thank you, Shane. And Philip. Use a clip-on dub. Oh my god, that's right. Way back when I had it clipped onto a kettlebell. I forgot about that. Oh my god, those are the days. Thank you, Philip. So I'm trying to hurry up and get most of her face done and as much as I can of her body. Thank you, Kylie. Someone break all of Philip's clocks. I really appreciate it, Philip. So I think these are supposed to be like teeth of whatever hell demons and beasts she's killed. So I'm giving them like a little cracks in the teeth and stuff. I think it makes it look a little more realistic. And the smaller ones are facing downward, and then the bigger ones kind of curl up. Hellhound teeth. Nice mystery. That's true. Thank you, Mark. See you later, Kylie. All right, so I had hair covering most of her neck right here. I decided to bring her neck down a little further so we can see a bit more of it. So this strand of hair is going to be there, but not cutting off and covering so much neck, because I think that we need that information to know where the neck connects to the rest of the body, or it does end up looking a little bit like a floating head. Thank you, Shane. And then I'm kind of just throwing a little bit of my personal bend to it, where I'm giving her necklace a little bit more of a choker look. So it goes up slightly higher, and it's got little dividers in it where each tooth sits on the necklace. And then I'm probably going to give each tooth its own little base. Like that. Now I'm gonna hold off on inking that part on her hair, because I'm still not sure if I'm gonna leave that there. There we go. Let's do her other eyebrow, since I just totally forgot it. Classic. Good one, Mike. True story, Shane. All right, well, let's finish this eyebrow at least. And I would like to get her little spike piercings, because they're right there on her face. There we go. That's great, Mark. Oh, fair enough. I guess it's time to go. Guys, I can't thank you enough for hanging out with me at this stream. You rock. It has been so much fun. So, this one is probably about half done. I'll finish it on the Wednesday stream because, again, I'm not doing a ton of other drawing right now. I'm working on some other projects. And so this one I will wrap up on Twitch on Wednesday. And I can't wait to see you guys then. Let's raid someone. How about, let me see who all is live right now. Oh, thank you so much, Jason. Okay, so, let's go raid Co's Art. Thank you all so much. I love you guys bunches. I hope you have a good one. And let's raid Co's Art. All right, here we go. He's such an awesome person and an incredible artist. So I hope you guys have a good one, and thank you so much for being here with me. Lots of love.